Hey, welcome to Team Builder Week 5 NSTL Norwich Skitty. It's Don Fanatic, one of the better known people, presumably, in our league. Certainly one of the most experienced, besides maybe Tuperius, Tuppleton. But he's not in my conference. Get him out of here. This week, I'm embracing the offense. No more. Oh, we gotta run a special defensive tentacruel. Or a Nidoqueen so I can take hits. Do 25% to a Thunderous. code by Psychic. Every special attacker gets Psychic. Throw it away. Throw it all away. Hyper offense, baby. Looking at his team, it's disgusting. It's losable if he doesn't play well. But it's still disgusting, and the main threats are Celesteela and Landorus. Landorus because my horrible ground weakness, which will be fixed next week, and we'll go over that in next week's Team Builder. Horrible ground weakness still. Celesteela is just disgusting, and Cast Form is the biggest threat to his team. I guess that's a little misleading, the way I've set this up. But whatever. Mega Altaria is annoying. That's about it. So screw it. I went with these things. Jolteon, I'll explain why I didn't bring things. Quagsire, special attacker, can't touch it. Special attacker can't touch it. Special attacker can barely touch it. What am I gonna toxic you? Can't touch you, can't touch you, can't touch you, can't touch you. Quagsire is trash against this team. Besides literally Landorus and maybe Mega Altaria, which are like big threats, but throw them away. Jolteon. Yeah, neutral damage. I would HP Ice, maybe Scarfed. Resisted. Good against you. Normal. Good against you. Resisted. It's not a good enough matchup. Tornado, same thing. Yeah, okay against you. I'd have to bring some weird for you. Not good against you. Not good against you. Not really good against you. Heat Wave? No. You're not good against you. Not good against you particularly. Good against a Moongus. I didn't even give him Moongus a color. Fuck it. He's not bringing it. If he does, I'm fine. Hydreigon, Fairy type, specially defensive. Sort of okay. I would outspeed you. I would outspeed you. Fairy type. I need like steel coverage for like these two. Fire move for you. I mean, like basically, if Hydreigon's not scarfed, it's worthless. But if it's scarfed, it can't hurt anything enough to need it because Ribombee kills it every time. So there's like protection on that. Cast Form is just trash. Okay, so whatever. Here's my team. I've Scarfed Tentacruel. Here's my reasoning for this. 100 speed. If Landorus is scarfed, they kill you. If Nihilego just basically can't touch me that well in the first place. Ribombee. Psychic. Everything gets Psychic still. I may need to change these EVs. I need to do some calcs after this. If this special defense minus fucks me, I'll have to figure out something else. I could probably switch it to defense if this isn't supposed to be taking in physical hits. Besides maybe Mega Altaria, which probably kills anyways. But +1 Mega Altaria, Poison Jab, Waterfall for you, Poison Jab for you, Ice Beam for you if you're scarfed out, outspeed you. Celesteela as an issue, so I might knock off on a switch or something. These guys are an issue too, but like fuck them. Who needs them? Whatever. So Tentacruel's here for like these first 5, 6, 5, and he's scarfed because fuck it. I don't care anymore. Oh, I'm on the wrong. I'm starting backwards again. Okay. Hoopa's coming in for almighty damage. Psyshock kills basically everything besides Celesteela, which Thunderbolt kills. And then I have Poisonium Z Gunk Shot, so that way I can have minus attack to be outspeedy and still kill Mega Altaria. Otherwise, I'm killing everything besides Landorus and Mega Altaria, which I can outspeed and kill, or speed tie and kill at the very worst, depending, if I'm already in. This thing has a good matchup. I have Speed and Destiny Bond in case I need to. He keeps bringing Substitute Leech Seed, Protect Celesteela, and like I'm gonna kill him if he brings that to this match. But like Celesteela with Earthquake or Flamethrower or any offensive move, like its coverage ruins my team. And like if he's not bringing coverage, I don't know what his problem is. So like I'm assuming he'll have moves. So like if worst comes to worst, I can let Hoopa kill this thing, but he can't switch much into this. The only thing he can switch is Celesteela and Audino, which might come. But Audino can't touch me. Like Thunder Wave and Toxic and shit and Wish Pass. Trash. I just don't have anything good to hit Audino because I don't have any fighting types. That's the only reason it's orangish. Nihilego dies. Ribombee pretty much dies to Side Shock probably when I'm got 222 goddamn special attack. So this thing's just here to wreak havoc. Nidoqueen is Shuka, just kill everything. I might lead with this to try to handle Landorus, but it's like Ribombee dead, Nihilego dead, Landorus dead, Rotom overheat, but like Sludge Wave it, Mega Altaria dead, Celesteela Thunderbolt dead, Ice Beam whatever. If I think he's gonna lead Landorus, I'll leave this thing, take the EQ or the rocks or the U-turn and Ice Beam. It'll be fine. Slowbro, dead, fuck you. Amoongu's dead, fuck you. Just attacks. Rocks would be nice against his team. I don't care. So I've lost my mind. All offense all the time. Alright, so here I do have a Boma Snow. I could bring like something else, but I need to kill Landorus with Ice Shark. I have Leech Seed. I might change Leech Seed if I can think of something for coverage, but it's like I just have Tack. I could probably break a Celesteela sub. I can Earthquake, Nihilego, Ice Shard, Landorus. Rotom fucks this thing up, so I might Leech Seed on switches. Mega Altaria gets kind of fucked by this thing. I focus that just in case I need to bring this. If I don't have a use for this and I can bring it in late game. He doesn't look like he's going to get up hazards against me. And even if he does, it's just like I don't have much more items. I can bring on this thing. So this might change. I should probably have thought of that more first before this. Whatever. Now we got Mega Mawile. I have Iron Head because it kills basically everything. Rock Slide because it basically kills everything else. Ribombee, Nihilego dead. Ice Punch dead. Rock Slide dead. Iron Head dead. Thunder Punch 8-hit KO. Fuck you, Celesteela. Iron Head dead. Thunder Punch. I hope he doesn't bring Slowbro, but I have Hoopa for it. My brain. Mungus, fuck you. So I think this is fine. I just need attacks. Ooh, Sucker Punch. I'm like, ooh. I could bring Sucker Punch over Ice Punch because who knows if Landers would even come in against this thing. But I think I need it. I might put Sucker Punch because I have Ice Shuka, Scarf Ice, damage. I guess I don't know. Then finally Specs Pyroar damage, all the damage. Kill Celesteela. Hyper Voice kills most things. Nihilego I can trick with the HP ground if I have to. I outspeed it unless it's Scarfed. These two are probably his worst Scarfers. I wouldn't imagine Scarf Rotom doesn't really make sense against my team. So I'm thinking one of these two will be Scarfed. So if it's Nihilego, I outspeed it because I'm 106. If it's Landorus, I outspeed it. Unless either of them is Scarfed. So basically I could catch Nihilego on switches. Flamethrower, he's probably bringing Slowbro, honestly, now that I think about it. Slowbro's probably coming, but like I said, I have Hoopa for it, and once Hoopa's in on something, there's not a lot he can do. I could bring like Substitute over Destiny Bond, but I think Destiny Bond would be cool if I can make it work. Especially if it's something good that I can take out. So yeah, and I have Hyper Beam because fuck it. I don't know. You know, if I decimate him, then I can bring this thing in, Hyper Beam something. Basically, my worst thing is like after one turn of setup, I lose, or like more than one turn of setup, I lose, obviously. So I can't let him get too much setup. Basically, like if something comes in that can set up, I have to immediately switch to my counter or whatever close I have, and hope he doesn't predict that. I have to make huge predictions. Basically, this whole game is going to be predictions. Turn one, if I get the lead right and counter it correctly, that'll be best case scenario. So, basically, like I don't like my matchup. My matchup's trash, but that's why I'm going hyper offense just so I can hopefully catch him off guard. It's weird. I just this isn't a spoiler because this will be week 5 and week 4 already happened. Jack did lose week 4 against Trog, and he didn't play too well. Trog beat him on like maybe like 2 or 3 good predictions, and then just like the rest were just like plays that kind of made sense either way, you know. So it's like I don't know if I trust Jack's predictions, but I think against a team like mine, it's easier to predict against, if that makes sense. So like I don't know, like, if I'm bringing in Pyroar, it's like, what's his switch into that? Well, if Celesteal is in, it's Altaria, Rotom, or Nihilego. Okay, so do I go for a Hyper Voice for Rotom and Mega Altaria, or just regular Altaria if he's not Mega, or do I go for HB Ground and try to catch Nihilego? What do I think the Nihilego set is? I don't know. So it's like, it's less like, it's going to be harder for me to predict, basically, based on what he has in his matchup against my team. And depending what he brings, I mean, I really do think Slowbro's coming, but I don't really care. Screw it, it sucks. I'd be amazed if the Mungus came. I'll kill it with everything on my. I told him everything on my team. Okos and Mungus. Okos. We'll pretend that Okos. 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 We'll pretend that Okos. Okos. All right. Well, technical. Whatever. So I don't know. I think I've honestly I've built what, like, I feel I have to build, because I built the team first, and I built it the same way I did last week, where I was like, oh, a Nidoqueen giving a lot of bulk and bringing a Tentacruel with, especially defensive, so I can take on Ribombee, and I'm just throw it away, hyper offense, kill them, defeat them, ruin them, bring all my hard hitters with the best matchup that I can see, and see what happens. So from your perspective, the battle will be coming up soon. I'm recording this 2 or 3 days before the battle, so I probably won't be wearing the same shirt. And the lighting will be different. The positioning may be different. I horizontally flipped my camera, so now I see what I normally see in the mirror. Right? Yeah, I turn right, and my head turns right. I don't know if that's jarring for other people, because this is not what anyone ever sees when they look at me. They see what I normally do, but I prefer to see how I like to see myself. Because it doesn't matter. Facecam's like 2% of this whole thing. So, battle's coming up. Thanks for watching this part. So far, I've lost my mind. If you haven't been able to tell. English is tough language. I don't recommend it.
Alright, so basically no chance of a live version is going up this week. I just wasn't able to do a battle while I had time to speak at the same time. You know how life is. So I'm just gonna do the post-com. And I hope it works out. So looking at his team, I kind of had decided from the get-go I was going to lead with Tentacruel, just because things like Altaria and Ribombee and Rotom, even basically everything besides the Mungus and Celesteela, I had a decent matchup against, and I just kind of felt safe switching out of Tentacruel and not necessarily into it. So that's what I'm going to lead, and we'll just see what happens. And I was thinking Lando was a good chance, and here it is. So he intimidates me. I'm not Clear Body. I was Liquid Ooze just in case Leechy came, and I did go for Ice Beam. I had it for the Landorus, but I'm mostly physically offensive, so Ice Beam does absolutely nothing to this Amoonguss. So I'm gonna be like, Spore's probably coming. I can't imagine if he Sludge Bombed on a Tentacruel, he'd be a hero. So that protection actually goes off. So here I'm gonna pause it. I didn't pause the timing perfectly. So from my perspective, Rotom, Heat, and Celesteela are basically a guaranteed switch into a Abomasnow. This thing does not get good moves for those. I mean, maybe he knows about Rock Slide, but I was figuring Rotom Heat is like a very good switch. I figured if Celesteela comes in, Rock Slide versus Ice Punch, the difference in damage is like either way, I don't care. Like if I hit that thing with Ice Punch or Rock Slide, it's probably doing 15%, or 20%. So I figure Rock Slide is my best play, but I think from his perspective, there's a decent chance my only ice move is either Special or Ice Shard. So, he's actually going to stay in here as I go for Rock Slide. And this is going to have a lot of consequences because I get a flinch here, and that's not great. So just a little more explanation of what this means. There's basically no universe. I think there's literally no way that a Rock Slide does 23.5% and an Ice Punch would have done 88% or whatever that was. So, computer just kind of got weird there. Yeah, so unless I was like I lied and said I was Expert Belt or something, which I was sashed, and that drove a lot of my plays. So that flinch definitely matters. It swings a lot of momentum on my side, and that's actually the only hacks of the game. But it's like it's one of those things where it's like it's not visibly huge, but like it's actually huge. So now I'm gonna switch up to Ice Punch. He still might think I don't have an ice move, but I do. It does 70% KOs them, so that's awesome for me. Amoonguss wasn't a huge threat, but it's nice to just get it out of the way. And now since I'm sashed and Ramami comes in, I say, well, I have Rock Slide, so let's see how much that does. It does 86%, and I'm just going to go straight for Ice Shard. So now maybe he thinks I don't have Ice Shard. No. So that's huge for him. He went for HP Ground, which I guess I'll talk really quick. I think from his perspective, I'd say a Mawile switch or a Tentacool switch was probably, or even a Nidoqueen switch. I had a lot of switches for Rabambi besides Hoopa. And those switches seemed really obvious, but one, the fact that I was sashed, I didn't take the presumable either Sludge Bomb or Hidden Power Fire from that Amoonguss. The turn it flinched, which I could only say maybe it went for Toxic, I doubt it. But, so the fact that I was very comfortable to stay in against that Rabambi because I was sashed and I knew it, and maybe from his perspective a bug move would have killed me. So that drove all that plays. A flinch keeping me at full health totally changed how that went. So now back to the action. He doesn't still steal it. I say, okay, well, I'm going straight into Pyroar in case he does anything funny. I know Bonestone can't really touch thing, and he shows he's autotomized offensive, and Pyroar just gets toasted, which is hilarious. Pyroar still had a decent matchup between hyper voicing the other three, so like that kind of sucks. Now I just go to Mawile, I get rid of that attack boost, and I'm just gonna go for a Thunder Punch. I know I can live in Earthquake barring a crit. There's no universe that SLSteel can just physically OHKO a Mawile with no boost, and Thunder Punch does 80% of this thing. I mean, I know he was offensive, but Christ, Mawile, you're out of control. So here I'm gonna go into Tentacruel on this Altaria. I take an Earthquake does 99%. I don't know what kind of roll that was. I don't know his set, but like that's kind of funny. I didn't really need Tentacruel anymore. Besides, to outspeed that thing at +1 on poison jab, maybe. But so I figured, well, that's still a possibility. So I'm gonna keep Tentacruel at 1%. I'm gonna go into Hoopa, 'cause the worst thing he can really do is Volt Switch. And I kind of said, well, Hoopa's especially defensive. This is basically a free kill. And he is speedy, because I max speed Hoopa to deal with Altaria potentially. So I'm going to 2 KO this thing with Side Shock. He's going to go for Overheat to get a lot of damage off, but not quite bring me into range. So basically, here he can go into Landorus, I think guarantee outspeed me based on his set, or he can go into Altaria, and that's a speed tie. So I'm just going to pause a potential speed tie. I don't know if he's max speed. So I go for Acid Downpour. It was nice. That move would have toasted this thing forever, so the Will-O-Wisp did help a lot. And he Dragon Dance. So here, I think Roost is a potential, killing me right off as a potential, so I'm going to go straight for the Destiny Bond. I basically knew he wouldn't Dragon Dance again there. So I Destiny Bond. I basically force him to Dragon Dance a second time, so now I can go into Nidoqueen and basically live this Earthquake with a Shuka. I mean, he probably knew based on that play I just made that that's what Nidoqueen did, and just toast this thing with Sludge Wave because Nidoqueen's a monster. And here, he's just gonna go into Landorus, show off that he's Rock Polish, and just die to an Ice Beam. I mean, honestly, he literally had to do that because had he not, Tentacruel comes in and does 99% with Ice Beam, and then Tentacruel finishes them off, or wait, Bonestone finishes them off. There's a potential for anything else to happen. So I mean, that's not a bad play on his part, doing that. He literally had to. But I think either way, a bonus. He might have been able to win because Tentacruel dies, Hoopa dies, Mawile dies. All of those are at, like, negative health. Tentacruel no longer outspeed at +2. Nidoqueen obviously wouldn't take an Earthquake, and if he had a Rock move for Bonestow, whose sash had been broken by that HP ground, that probably could have OHKO'd. Or if he had a Flying move, he might have been Flying EMZ too, because I think that's a Z user, one of his Z users. That's broken. He has so many good Z users. It's like that, Rabambi, and someone else. Maybe it's not Rabambi. I'm getting my teams mixed up. Whatever. So that is a 5-0. It's a misleading 5-0. One, because Tentacruel should have just died against that Earthquake. Like I said, a Bonestow, that play just chain reaction, that flinch, because that's what allowed Ice Punch to kill. It swung all the momentum. It's what allowed that Rabambi play to happen, because had I been at 40% health, there's probably like zero chance I would have stayed in there. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I can't hindsight say what really would have happened, but like having the sash made me 100% stay in, because I said, okay, what do I need a bonus to know for anymore besides ice sharding this Landorus, and guess what? I have a sash, so I can basically guarantee a live. I don't think I looked at his team. It's like there's no way he has rocks on Landorus against my team. There's no reason. So, I mean, maybe he did. I don't know. That's just me like hindsighting again. But so that was the battle. It was a 5-0. It's a huge 5-0 for me. I was really nervous about this battle, and like I think like that flinch happened, and then that ice punch happened. Like literally, once the Rabambi went down, I was just like, I had a sigh of relief, and then it was just like making the smart plays. I think my prep was actually really good. I guess Pyro could have been Shuka too. That might have helped. I mean, I probably would have lived with Earthquake, presumably. I mean, and I don't know if Flamethrower would have killed that thing, so it would have been a similar situation. But and you know what, chain of events, like in hindsight, maybe Pyro, leaves that Celestial at 9%, and then I bring something else in that isn't Mawile, and everything, chain reacts from there. But Shuka, Nidoqueen worked out perfectly. That got 2 kills. Hoopa worked out about as perfectly as it could. The Will had not been for the Will-O-Wisp, it would have been fine. Scarf Tentacruel did not work at all. But like it had pressure there, like I had it around to do things. Bubsino got 2 more kills, which is dope. I'm glad I brought the thing. I'm glad I put Rock Slide on it instead of Leech Seed. That saved me because I was hindsight. I was just like, well, like he has like 2 things weak to rocks, and one of those switches in every time. I mean, the Rotom H was never in on a Bubsino to take the Rock Slide, but yeah, whatever. And then Mawile got a kill. Mawile's dope because it's bulky and powerful. And Pyro died, but who cares? It's Pyro. I wasn't expecting it to do much. I thought it just might be cool to have. So that was a battle. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought. I do feel bad about the hacks. Like I said, it was 1 turn, but like the implications are just so like outspreading from there that he was definitely like momentum sapped for that whole battle, and I'm sure he was frustrated. I don't think he does live recordings, but I'm sure if it was live, it'd be a very frustrated battle, and I would totally accept it. And had my live been real, I would have been very, like, kind of remorseful. And I'd be like, ooh, man, that really mattered, Because, whatever. I guess it's the game. I don't really like when people say, it's the game. I'm like, yeah, but it still sucks. But whatever. So, thanks for watching. We go to 3-2. Our differential's like 11 now, which is pretty awesome for only 1 win more than loss. So, our wins have been real good. Our losses have been real close. And that'll be it. So, see you next week. Thanks for watching.